Donald Trump has finally been caught with his pants down, trying to conquer a bridge too far. He's crossed the Rubicon with much bravado, but it's going to cost him, and cost him dearly. The arrest and deportation of Kilmar Garcia may not lead to impeachment, but it is going to cost Donald Trump and the MAGA majority in both the House and the Senate. They thought they could get away with a war on brown people, and maybe they were right. Maybe they could have gotten away with a war on brown people, but then they went and broke the Constitution. And now the Trump base is turning on him and his MAGA politicians. I'm going to show the anger and the outrage that the base is expressing over this issue and how adamant they are for a course correction, while the MAGA party is just trying to brush it off or pretend it isn't going to last. So in the moment, at these public events, MAGA politicians don't seem fazed by the outcry. The administration is drastically trying to spin the counter-narrative to win back the base on this issue. First was Trump's attempt at showboating Central American dictator Nayib Bukele, president of El Salvador, who was supposed to come in as some suave New Age dictator who could make totalitarianism seem cool. Instead, he played the traditional role of lapdog.
Do you plan to return him?
Well, I'm supposedly not suggesting that I smuggle a terrorist into the United States, right?
It's always
how can I return him to the United States? Like, I smuggle him into the United States, or what do I do? Of course, I'm not going to do it.
Now, it's bad enough that Bukele takes a page right out of the 2000s Fox playbook of mischaracterizing the question. But to do it in the service of Trump doesn't make him look macho, makes him look like a chump. And then the Trump administration sent out Caroline Leavitt to tell lies about Garcia, despite the fact that they already admitted he is not a criminal and his deportation was a mistake. But that didn't prevent Christian Caroline from going out and telling outright lies to discredit Garcia.
Abrego Garcia was a foreign terrorist. He is an MS-13 gang member. He was engaged in human trafficking. He illegally came into our country. Fortunately, many in this country care more about this quote-unquote Maryland father, a legal alien MS-13 gang member, than a Maryland mother and an American citizen who was brutally murdered at the hands of a different illegal alien.
And the only thing more stomach-churning than watching fascist Barbie tell lies, and even more vomitous than her little guilt by association rhetorical maneuver, ooh, where'd you learn that one, Caroline? That was clever. Yeah, the only thing more bile-producing is her faux outrage. Oh, her sensibilities are just so assaulted by this awful behavior of the Democrats and the media. Well, take a back seat, Caroline, because when it comes to outrage, nobody has more anger than the constituents of Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa. He tried trotting out the Fox News excuse that the U.S. is now powerless to do anything about it, and his constituents ate him alive. Watch this.
Ignore my letter.
Guatemala is or El Salvador is an independent country. The president
Speak up, please. We can't hear you.
The president of that country is not subject to our U.S. Supreme Court.
I preach on Sundays, and I believe very strongly in we welcome the stranger. Because anybody, the least of these we do to Jesus. And that is what we've been taught, and that is what the gospel tells us. And I think turning away people who have come here for asylum is one of the most shameful things we are doing right now.
Yep.
So two things to notice here right off the bat. One, this woman is quoting the Bible to Grassley and turning the Bible against Republicans and their policies. And she gets applauded for it. This woman from the heartland is using gospel values to expose the hypocrisy of Republican policies, not adhering to Christian mandates. And you could call her a Democratic plant or activist, but then everyone in the room applauds. These are Trump voters, and they are seeing things in a new light. And the second thing is, notice this is an almost entirely white crowd, because the arguments they are making are going to surprise you.
Define the Constitution. You're on the Judiciary Committee.
Trump don't care. If I get an order to pay a ticket for $1,200 and I just say no, does that stand up? Because he's got an order from the Supreme Court and he's just said no. Yeah.
Once again, Grassley tried the Fox News spin, and the crowd is absolutely not buying it. Grassley is a confused old man up there and can't figure out why this crowd isn't buying into the Trump talking points. So watch what he tries to do next. It's laughable.
The next subject here.
Excuse me, Senator. Senator, excuse me, on that same subject. Hey, excuse me.
I mean, really, he doesn't like what is happening, so he tells the crowd, yeah, I'm going to move on now. And they don't let him. They stand up to him. But we can't leave this town hall without the most remarkable event of the night. Have you noticed the guy in the front wearing his MAGA hat? Well, watch what he has to say.
Let him answer, please. Let the senator answer.
What is a constitutional crisis? What does that consist of? A constitutional crisis exists when you have a president who ignores the Supreme Court. You have a Congress who fails to rein in a third branch of our government.
That's right.
Who is now violating our Constitution. You took an oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm. Do you remember that, sir? Yes, sir. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
So here is our white, male, Heartland MAGA voter. And what is he doing? He is calling out Grassley. He is saying that Trump is destroying the Constitution and that you, Grassley, are duty-bound to do something about it. Now, I would love to hear Fox call this guy a paid protester or a Democratic plant. The point is this. The Heartland has turned on Trump and on MAGA politicians. They are over spin. They know their values. They believe in the Christian mandate and they believe in the Constitution. And right now, they believe Trump is taking a dump on both of those. Republicans like Grassley are completely confused by this, but pollsters are not. These town halls are just one piece of evidence that 2026 is going to be a landslide loss for congressional Republicans. For Democrats, the way forward is clear. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep pushing. And we have to come up with a plan for Trump trying to cancel the elections. Republicans are already trying to disenfranchise voters on a scale never seen before with their SAVE Act. The question is, are Democratic senators going to vote it down or filibuster it till it cannot pass? We need outcry to make sure that they do, because nothing should get in the way of this Republican voters' outrage. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.